Whether you pushed your sister down the stairs, used your mom's work shirt for an arts and crafts project, or just wouldn't listen to your parents, throughout our childhood, we've probably all heard, "Go to your room." It's a common disciplinary strategy for parenthood, and it's essentially what Mohammed bin Salman did to a number of Saudi elites, including dozens of his own family members, detaining them in a Ritz-Carlton in 2017. You're not necessarily uncomfortable in your room, just as the royal detainees wouldn't necessarily be uncomfortable in a luxury hotel. But you're both secluded from the outside world, stopping you from doing anything fun and stopping Saudi royals from interfering in Mohammed bin Salman's rise to power. With rivals to the throne in detainment, Saudi Arabia's crown prince, known as MBS, quickly amassed power and was hailed as a leading revolutionary in the Middle East, giving women the right to drive and attend football games and leisurely events. However, his reputation in the Western world prominently surrounded one much different event, the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. After the dissident journalist for the Washington Post was murdered in the Saudi consulate in Turkey, Saudi Arabia conducted what President Trump deemed
one of the worst in the history of cover-ups.
With sources leaking Mohammed bin Salman's link to the murder and knowledge of the Ritz-Carlton imprisonments, MBS's reputation was stained. Yet, since Khashoggi's death in October 2018, MBS has consistently attempted to return his reputation to that of the promising young revolutionary. With obvious stains on his reputation, MBS's attempts to promote his image as the visionary the Middle East needed veered toward overcompensating and ostentatious measures. He restricted the powers of the religious police, a platform to host comedy shows, wrestling matches, and monster truck rallies opened, as well as the first cinema in the kingdom in 35 years. Women were allowed entrance to sports stadiums and could own businesses. There was a Six Flags built in Saudi Arabia, and MBS even placed multiple bids for the ownership of Manchester United Football Club. I guess if you throw enough mud at the wall, some of it is bound to stick. One of the biggest clumps of mud MBS threw at the wall was in the planning of NEOM, his $500 billion plan for the city of the future. He wants to attract the world's greatest minds and best talents to the world's best-paying jobs in the world's most livable city, reclaiming a barren part of Saudi Arabia for a Massachusetts-sized version of the Jetsons, essentially. MBS wants NEOM to have glow-in-the-dark sand along the coast, flying taxis, dinosaur robots in a Jurassic Park-style theme park, and even alcohol. Saudi Vision 2030 encompasses the construction of NEOM and all of the ostentatious policies enacted by Mohammed bin Salman with unforeseeable outcomes. Yet, at its core, the root issues of Vision 2030 are now very real and very pressing. MBS's task, Saudi Vision 2030, is a strategic framework aiming to reduce Saudi Arabia's dependence on oil, diversify the economy, and develop public service sectors. However, much of the economic and social reform is heavily dependent on investment of revenue from the oil industry, and Saudi Arabia continues to play the dominant hand in the oil game. Why quit when you're ahead? Recently, Saudi Arabia flexed its financial muscle and amped up oil production to record levels in a price war with Russia. However, the plummeting prices threaten MBS's reforms to wean the economy off of oil dependence. With the price of oil now being negative and stay-at-home orders due to coronavirus, the global pandemic offers one common theme to us all. There is no telling what the future may hold. And there is no set vision for 2030. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.